let me know. If you're watching on the replay, please leave a comment down below. You know what I'm saying. When you get here, leave a comment. When you get here, leave a comment. When you get here, leave a comment.
Let's get to my regular microphone. How you guys doing? Monday night. Hey, no football tonight. No football tonight, so you're not just sitting there waiting to leave me and go watch some football like you normally do. Maybe I'll jam for a minute or two. I see a couple of you. What's up, Jeff? What's up, Pops? Jeff, glad you could be here, man. Hope you're doing good, brother. What's up, Big Dad? Y'all, that's my dad. Everybody say hi, Big Pops, in the chat, all right? He's up late. 7:30. Hey, what's up, Paige? Yeah, man, got my EG tonight. Yeah, Boomer giving a shout out to Big Old Dad. What's up? Yeah, what's up, you guys? How y'all doing? Oh, okay, yeah, let's look at the room for a second. Welcome to the hangout a la double, right? How you guys doing? Monday night crew, what's happening tonight, folks? Good to see y'all. I like this now. I like doing Monday nights, having you guys come and hang out with me. That's a nice time, you know. And a couple of you guys sent me messages last week that you were all jamming with me. After we got done, I got the messages from a couple of you guys. That was very cool, having you sitting there jamming with me. Tonight we're gonna check out the Big Daddy. I call it the mother of all jam track channels because Elevated Jam Tracks, that's not who we're listening to right now. Elevated Jam Tracks is like one of those really big, like they're all over, like all sorts of YouTubers use their loops and their music and stuff like that. Everybody give a shout out to Pops if you're in the chat, man. and I enjoy their stuff. One of the things that's kept me from doing them, I didn't start off with them, was because some of their stuff is pretty intense. There's some changes within what they show. Sometimes they'll recommend a mode or a scale, and it's not always perfect for each of the chords. So you have to kind of listen a lot of times. Sometimes they are just right. And the other thing about these guys is, or this guy, is if you want to broadcast with his music, you need to buy his packages. So I bought a couple of his packages, and tonight we're going to check out some of his playlists. I bought specifically 2 bundles, the aggressive rock one, and then the mellow ballads or something. Oh man, I have them. Which ones do I have here? I have to open up my browser here. Hold on. Cinematic rock. Oh wait, no, hold on. Let me see. Where are my downloads? Yeah, elevated jam tracks. Let's see. I downloaded explosive hard rock and metal, and then volume 2 it looks like, and then volume 1 of mellow atmospheric groove, the atmospheric groove collection. So we're gonna check some of the stuff out on those, and do a little bit of jamming. The link, of course, is in the comments. Thank you guys. Sub, like, share, do all that stuff. Leave a comment, and let's check out. Let's see here. If I go to this one here, we should be able to still see my face and all that good, wonderful stuff, right? I might have to move this camera a little bit here. Okay, so you can see I've got some of their tracks pulled up in my Pocket GT here. And cinematic rock always sounds fun, right? Always sounds like it's going to be adventuresome. I did already jam through to a couple of these, and I did notice a couple of things like I was talking about, where it's like, oh well, this one you can't quite use the recommended one that he's saying here. So let me get this one going here. Woo! Might be a little loud, right? Compared to what we've been listening to. Might have to do a little volume. But yeah, he gives links. He always gives links to where you can buy his music. It's BandCamp. So here you can see we got a B minor, and he's recommended B Aeolian. Let's see. I think I got something where I can get in on. Yeah, you guys should be able to see at least that part a little bit. And it gives you the chord progressions. He does a good job of giving you the progressions. And he makes it interesting, too. He'll throw like that F sharp in there. You just heard that right there. That kind of at least makes it interesting other than just a couple of chords, you know? So B minor and a G major. And of course, you can kind of get to feel those almost anywhere. So that's kind of cool as you start to work out your cage shapes. Man, when I get too much going on here, it definitely gets laggy on the stream, right? Yeah, okay. So those shapes that he's running, B minor, that's your B minor bar chord right there. Just the same kind of a thing, maybe a little bit brighter would be up here. Your A minor shape 7 9 9 7 7 7, as opposed to here. So as you start to explore your caged shapes, as he's showing them to you, try to find where they all are. So here's 11, 12, and 10 on the top 3 strings. So that's your D minor shape, but because that's the root of that shape. There's your B minor. And then so as you kind of mess around with them, you can find there's a G right there. And from that B minor shape, the 9 7 7 7, if you add that 8th fret and then you hear that? That's kind of a G. There's your pinky hitting the G. There's a G major, C shape. It would be C right here. So it's always good to get an idea of where he's going in the track, So definitely hitting that B Aeolian sound with a B minor and then a G added to it. And I always kind of like that kind of a thing. And then he's got multiple chords going on in there, so it's not always easy to pick out single note stuff there too. So always kind of fun to kind of maybe try octaves along with what he's doing. Try matching those triads. Let's see if I can. If I go here, it gets too laggy. Let me just kill my one camera here so you don't see my face. There we go. So yeah, see how quick those chords are going by there? Yeah, you see me catching up. I got to do something about my my internet here. There's nothing like a laggy stream. You guys leave me a comment if it's getting to be too much, and the music's lagging or something, you can't keep up. But I know it can be tough, but this is definitely a lot of fun to jam along with stuff like this. So there's a G, A. So see, you can even do that E minor right there, and that kind of gives you that whole shape. There's an F sharp, so running through them, there's an F sharp shape, and then that whole same C shape as the A here. So all of these chords, you find they're all kind of, for this jam track, they're all right here in this shape, so you can really kind of milk this position, that whole minor pentatonic, or any of them. So of course, if you go here, it looks like D major. And that's always good because you got the third is going to be your drop note, your kind of resting note or your familiar note there in that D major, and that's the minor third of the B. So, when you're playing Aeolian, this is a good rule. If you're playing Aeolian, you can always find that's the relative minor, Aeolian, your relative major is going to be up a minor third from there. And if you're doing Dorian, so let's say we're doing Dorian, it's still B minor, but to get out the Dorian sounding, bring out that G sharp, you can think of the major scale being found two half steps or 2 frets or 1 whole step below. So if we're playing in B Aeolian, you're thinking D major over a B minor kind of a chord. And if you're thinking B Dorian with that kind of Santana sound, then you're thinking an A major. You hear that? So it's a different kind of, as opposed to, so when you're doing this jam, you can be thinking of B minor and you can be thinking of D major. Of course, you can be thinking of A major as well, but that's going to be A mixolydian, not A Ionian. You know what I'm saying? So hey, yeah, thanks. I like using jam tracks to really try to find modal excuses to play modally, right? Like let's just sit down and analyze it a little bit instead of just sitting there and shredding all across a minor pentatonic all the time. So then you can really see where to bring out some notes. So instead of just sitting and just going willy-nilly pentatonic, you can start to really bring out, and then hit that when you get the G or the E minor, because then that G is going to be acting as the minor third in E minor, and then bring yourself back to a B shape, and then that major second is always going to work on either one of those Aeolian or Dorian kind of things. So that second, that C sharp, is so sweet too, and you can bend it up to the minor third. It's real expressive. So I'm gonna kind of just mess around in B minor, and I'm gonna watch these chords go by, and hopefully it'll kind of, go by quickly enough, or maybe slowly enough that I can kind of grab that, and then see there's that A. So then you can kind of bring out the A note, and that A serves as the 7th to there. Oh, is it huge latency here tonight? Oh man, bummer. I probably would have to restart at least a couple of things here, I bet. Is it the audio that's getting latent? That's latent. Is it the audio that's latent, getting the latency? My mouth and my words aren't matching up. Maybe I could try restarting my modem. Lose you guys for a couple minutes, but if it's really that tough, if it's too hard to jam to it, or for at least you guys to follow the jam, I can. I'll definitely try it. You let me know. I mean, I always like just doing impromptu lessons, and that's that's kind of what this is all about. It's good now, yeah. So I think when I have a couple of cameras going, it kind of makes a little too much action. So now just with me by myself, I think it makes things kind of a little bit better. Yeah, I won't mess around too much in OBS. And I'll keep him off the screen. You guys, maybe if that's helping a little bit, you guys tell me if this helps now at this point. So yeah, here I am in B minor. Hopefully this is going to kind of keep up a little. G there, and then A and E minor. And that bend up, that fourth bend up to the fifth. I always like, that's so classic rock, right? A little change here to the E minor. You guys tell me, is that latency any better now? Let me know. Let me know. I know you were saying it's good now before, but hopefully it's a little bit better here. See, just shifting down to that. You're kind of working those chords. Got a bit better, huh? All right, yeah. I think also the fact that I'm streaming this stuff from YouTube isn't helping any. I could pull up the track straight up off of what I've bought. That might make things a little bit better. I feel like Monday nights in my neighborhood, everybody's getting on and doing the Netflix, and they're all coming home and chilling. And maybe Monday nights might not be the best time for me to try to stream stuff. You're having some issues with OBS, yeah. It's weird. Some nights it's really fine, and then some nights you try to go onto YouTube or try to do just a couple things, and it just gets funky. And I did reset my my router before we started. But that is, those kind of little tricks are really the best. You think it's OBS? Yeah, I've even downscaled a few of my cameras too. Yeah, it's I hear you. It's it can get a little bit hairy sometimes trying to do all this stuff. Just sitting here trying to make it be itself, and run smoothly. You'll just sit there and watch it be fine, and then watch it just go blah blah. Yeah, so yeah, the sync, I've definitely done an offset within OBS. So all that kind of stuff. Yeah, blame it on the neighbors. Gail, go ahead. And yeah, you guys, yeah, and there's Rob Dressler. What's up, guys? You guys are all giving me some stuff. Second and question mark for which mode? Okay, yeah, exactly. So we can talk more about modes. Let's talk about if you're playing minor. Okay, so the major second is a sweet note over a minor. So let's see. I got my looper down here at my feet. I might be able to just kind of. I have no idea if I think you guys should hear it. Oh, yep, that starts the circuit too. Yep. So let me so there's a B minor chord, and I can do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now as it fades away, so B minor. I should have done that with a cleaner sound, but now we can always add that second, which is the major second. And when I say second, I'm referring to like from B minor. If we're from B, if we're calling B the one, we're looking at a minor chord, and that's now our one. It's basically the sixth note of the major scale is going to be your relative minor. So that pentatonic shape that we're so familiar with is going to have the root, the minor third, the fourth, and the fifth. Okay, so you're skipping the flatted second and the major second, and you're going right to the minor third, and then you're going to the perfect fourth and the perfect fifth. The blues scale can add this one in between it. So here that would be, here in B minor, that would be the 8th fret and the 10th fret on the A and G strings. So that's your kind of add note. That's the don't hang on it kind of a note, you know. Use that as your passing tone, and that's your blues scale. That's kind of one of the first changes that a lot of people learn how to make to a minor pentatonic. And you want to try to do that to all of the shapes that you know for B minor. So if you're sitting here, try to throw in that flat 5 wherever you can. You know, anywhere that you can find it. That becomes, you know, a really good. That flat 5 is a really nice extension. A nice first extension to learn. And then when you start to get a little more into, oh, okay, so I'm really just taking 5 notes and I'm adding 1, and so now I have a 6-note scale. And then if you add 2 more, so there I added the major second and the major 6th. So, and that would be the 9th fret on the E string, and then the 11th fret on the A string. And then you find those notes again, higher up, of course. After you hit B again, you're going to see the second here on the 11th fret of the D string. And then you're going to find that note exactly, that in between G and A. You can call it your G sharp or your A flat, however you want to refer to it here in B minor world. I guess we would call it, we would call it G sharp, yeah, because it already has an A. So you would find that note just a half step down from your A. So those are good. So adding that into that kind of a jam really helps. Here, this thing I was jamming on earlier, my own thing. It kind of, we can do that in E. It's one of the ones I like. I like messing around with, you know, because it's simple. And so if we're here in E, it's E minor, and then we have an A major. So at that right there. That, flicking my picks everywhere. Flick my pick. That right there shows how the chord progression dictates the mode that we're going to be looking at. You can already tell if that's an A, if your 4 is major and your 1 is minor, you're looking at that Dorian sound. That major 6 is spelled out there. And then if you see that the 4 is minor, that's going to be your Aeolian. And then so you start to try to get familiar with the shapes as we mess around with the jam track. Let's see what happens if I just kind of continue this. That's an awfully fast jam track. But one of the nice things about YouTube is you can actually go in and do different speeds. You guys let me know if it starts to bug out again, okay? Mike, I hope that kind of helps. If that explains what I'm talking about. So, and then it's especially nice to use those notes all serve a different purpose depending on the chord that goes by. So over the E minor, that's going to be acting as the sixth, but over that B, it's acting as the second. So you kind of stop thinking about it that way. So was that running all right there? I just had that with some YouTube running, and as long as I'm not showing too much within OBS, it seems to be going okay, at least from what I'm monitoring. But I hope that kind of makes sense, that how the chords will dictate the mode that you want, and how finding your shapes and finding the common shapes, your triads are 3 notes, your pentatonics are 5. You're going to start adding a couple of notes. The ones that are missing from the minor pentatonic are going to be your second, and in the Aeolian and Dorian mode, that's going to be a major second. Phrygian, Locrian, that's a minor second. And then when you're looking at missing the sixth, then you have to figure out, okay, is that the major or the minor? And that's the fun thing about the pentatonic and why it seems safe so often, is it's avoiding those 2 notes, those 2 note choices even. So it's avoiding those 4 notes because of that minor third that goes in there. Pardon me while I have a little coffee. It's just kind of helping you avoid the funky note. And then because that's going to sound funny. Like if I'm playing, there's that G against the A. We're in E minor here. And then when I go up here, that's an A major. So if I sit here and I try to play Aeolian, over the E, it's all right. But then you hear when I get to the A, it's like, what's he doing? Is he even listening to the song? Like, okay, so that's why. You see, there it is. We were missing both this and that. So the minor pentatonic is safe over both of those, the 1 and the 4. So see, kind of throw that second in there. There's the minor third of the E. And then you go down there, it becomes the second. There's the E, F sharp. And then, that bluesy thing I was talking about. So that's just kind of the messing around part of it all. All right, let's get off this track now. Here we go. Badass aggressive rock guitar. Okay, so we'll go over here to some more elevated. You guys, let me know if it's moving all right. Oh yeah, Dressler, you're probably the reason why you're here on property using up all my all the bandwidth. I'm not used to streaming with you guys running your stuff. So this one here is E, F sharp, A, B, A, E, F sharp, A, B, A, D, A, B. So that's like, that's kind of a, just that whole grooving F sharp modality kind of thing, And then so you're definitely happy in F sharp minor. The funny thing is it sounds like he does a B major. So that means to me you got that, just like we were talking about, that 4 from the B. See, so here we are in the minor 4, just like with the major stuff. When you go 1 to 4, you're going to be defining stuff with that major of the 4th or the minor of the 4th. That's going to help you define which mode you're talking about. So if we're talking about like an F sharp, straight up F sharp Aeolian, which is what he's recommending here, that's cool and all. But when you get to the B major, that minor is going to kind of clash a little bit. It's kind of okay to hit a minor over a major. It's definitely not okay to hit a major over a minor. With the minor over a major, you can always bend it or slide up, do something to get you to that. And your ear kind of already accepts the notes in between there. So hopefully you guys, it's running a little bit better here. And so I'll run through this see if there's any changes in here. So it sounds like There's a D and a B. So yeah, he's definitely changing this one all up, man. So that's the kind of thing where you sometimes want to just like, you just want to pick a mode and just go, but it's not always going to work, you know? Let me get a little F sharp, just some F sharp grooving, oh boy. Drop my pick. Time to tap. So see, ending on that minor 7, the E against that F sharp. So really all I was thinking about there. So it's all that one's moving so fast. Man, I have no idea where that pick went. No idea where that pick went now. Hopefully, yeah, I got a couple right here. And then earlier I flipped a couple off this lit mat. This mat is lit, yo. Yo, my mouse pad is lit. Yeah, there's my Tremonti pick. Dang, man. Thanks, Mark, for the pick. So really all I'm doing there is I'm just thinking all the different positions of F sharp minor, pentatonic, and then I'm adding when I feel like I really need to bring out one of those notes. Like if I saw that or I heard that D was coming up, I tried to find the D triad here, somewhere, somewhere in here. Against that B minor sounds great, Even a D major 7. Here, let me just get a little bit cleaner, So like if you're playing an E minor and you want something a little bit different over it, don't play an E note. Go up high and play, like I was saying, how if you're looking for something in that Aeolian sound, go up to the major, to the major, the relative major from that, and then play a G chord, and then go ahead and add that 7th of the G, or it would now be acting as the 2nd against the E, and that adds a really sweet tone, And that's a nice sound. You can do that anywhere. You can go to B here, and then you would then play a D major above it. So, and that's a really nice way of bringing out that Aeolian sound, is to think D major over the G, and that's all the modal. That's really the whole vibe of modal playing is finding the essence of it. And why I really like this guy is because, man, he'll throw in that pitch axis stuff. Like he'll throw in that B major against the F sharp minor, but your ear is already hearing kind of a Aeolian, and then you get a second to kind of to go, instead of bringing that out, you bring out a different note, and it just kind of it's something that when I'm sitting here maybe just looping something or just doing something on my own, I might not necessarily think about trying to find. So I'll clear a loop real quick, and that way if anybody has any questions or anything like that, I can at least kind of address them. Hey, thanks you guys for hanging out too, man. This is I do love these Monday nights. It's always fun. And I just like kind of showing off a little bit of the room. I keep adding new lights here and there, and that's always fun. And look, Paige, you're so sweet. She's the best. That's the most misunderstood dog right there. She barks at everybody. Okay, she doesn't like Brian Bednar. I'll say that. But she barks at everybody in the same way, and it's just because she wants to play. So anyway, that all this stuff that I've been talking about for the minor and the major, all is kind of linked similarly to the differences between Lydian and Ionian and Mixolydian. The whole thing of a 1-4-5. If you're major, there's your 1. Like if you're an A, there's your 1, and then there's your 4, your D. I knew that expression before I knew what the heck it meant. And I still talk to people who use it and don't quite understand. And then I say, "Are you sure that's a 1-4-5?" And they go, "No, I don't really think so." And then you go, "Yeah, no, that's more like a this, or that, or something, And that's all fine. That's all part of kind of at least creating your own understanding of something. Even if you write something you like and you enjoy it and you're calling it something wrong, that doesn't matter, right? At least you've written something that you like and you're having fun. But I like to think of that whole thing here. I'll get back to this of this whole thing. If we're in A, there's a major, and then there's a major, and then there's a major. So you got your major 1-4-5. You can do the same thing now. We were talking about how you go down 3 frets to the minor, and now you got your minor 1 or your relative minor 1. There's your F sharp 2 4 4 2 2 2. And then you go up and you do the same thing. You're going to have, this is now the 6 here in A major. This is the A. You got your 1 2 3 your root, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th is F sharp, and that's going to be your minor. And we go here, and there's F sharp. So there's our 6th of A major, being the relative minor. And then from there, you go up a 4th, and you've got another minor. And that's your, relative to the A, that's your 2nd. But that's from here, a 1 to 4 in minor thinking. So see, there's that Aeolian. And then right here, you got a 5. Well, in reality, you're going to have that. That's going to be your other one. So wait, let's see. Hold on. So I'm sorry. No. Yeah. So if this is your 2, then that's going to be your 3 of A. So that's C sharp minor. What's up, B? Hey, happy belated birthday, man. What's going on, man? So there's a 1, a 4, and a 5 in minor world, and then relative to the 1, the 4, and the 5 in major world. So that's always a good trick to figure that out. And then, like I was saying, that's your Aeolian move. And then there's Dorian right here from A. B minor would be that Dorian like we were playing earlier. So has it been laggy again since earlier? I do. Hopefully during all that badass aggressive rock guitar track, it was keeping up. I think so. Right on, Jeff. Hey man, thanks for hanging out, bro. I hope you had a guitar, and if you don't, catch it on the replay, and because I'm definitely digging into some stuff that I like to talk about and think about. when I'm going through jam tracks. Yeah, man. Thanks for hanging, Jeff. Good to see you, bro. So yeah, hopefully you guys think it's doing all right. With the stream, let's see. I can bring up one. So this one is from the Soulful Atmospheric Ballad Guitar Collection. Oh gosh, everything mutes so quickly on an iPad. I think this track, this particular cut, has a little distortion to it. So we got an E. Well, there's an A major. You guys, let me know if it's if playing the YouTube really starts messing with it. So this is doing a B major to F sharp minor to E, E major, then back to B. I gotta turn it up a little because my guitar's a little loud compared to it. So B major, F sharp minor. So that alone tells you. So if you're going from like what you're thinking is B major and then you go up to the fifth and it's a minor, well then you know you've done something different, because if you're playing Ionian and you go up to the 5, it's going to be a major. It's going to be Mixolydian right there. So if we're doing that, we're definitely not playing an Ionian. And on the track here, he's recommended B Mixolydian. And that'd do it, because you see right here, if you do B Mixolydian, that's going to be kind of based off that dominant chord. That's where we get the dominant sound, is from that Mixolydian. That's going to be a major chord, but a minor 7th behind it. That happens from Mixolydian, the 5th mode. So if he's writing a groove based on that, and he's going from here, from this B up to an E minor, F sharp minor, that brings out that A. That's that dominant 7th against there. So playing against it, you can start to think not just B major, but you can start to think your modes. And then so that would be like A Lydian and then E Ionian kind of a thing, you know? So there's an example of the 1, 4, and 5 kind of getting moved around, but your ear is hearing it as, just a different thing, you know? Because if you're going to play and bring out that B, you know, you don't want to be playing and making it sound too piratey or too generic by playing all B major stuff. You're going to want to try to keep up. Yeah, I hope the lag is doing all right with you guys. I can't. It's just hard for me to tell if it's laggy from here until somebody lets me know. So. So then there's good ways to still think of Mixolydian in a pentatonic way, you know, and then you could still get away with that, with getting a lot of these. So what you can do is, instead of going and doing your normal minor pentatonic starting move, you can do everything else, just raise that note. So instead of, all right, good. I'm glad it's caught up. Sometimes when I'm streaming the music, Byron, or Robert Jones, as your YouTube name is, the streaming it from YouTube while streaming to YouTube has been kind of slowing it down, it seems like. But so far so good. That's good to know. It was definitely hitting a problem spot earlier. But yeah, so you can modify your pentatonic. That's the great thing about pentatonics. Modify that. Paige doesn't care about Paige doesn't care about really much. She just wants somebody to play along with her. She's sad that I'm not right now. So yeah. So, or, the Mixolydian is going to be your Ionian shape, just with, instead of. So you would find that, so if we're here in B Mixolydian and we were playing E major, There's E major, 12, 14, 16, 12, 14, 16, 13, 14. And then if you did E major but started on B and ended at B, you got to have that A in there. Oh, Paige, you telling me it's laggy? Is it laggy? Is it laggy? Poor girl. She heard us talking about her. See, she's dying for attention. If I'm not giving it to her, she is upset. So that's always a good thing to kind of do is say, okay, well then how can I do some stuff that is at least familiar to me while I try to learn this. So and that major shape, this one isn't always the best thing to solo with, you know. So if you're going to be if you want to try to do some B major soloing, do the G sharp minor pentatonic. I know it sounds funny, but you're thinking, you know, you can still think the same shape that you're familiar with. So, and you know, and you'll find familiar bends within the way it sounds, and it's going to sound different than if you were doing it, you know, up in the normal spot. It's going to just sound different compared to your normal minor pentatonic stuff, because it's going to be against a different chord than a minor. So that's always helpful to really sit down and say, okay, what is this track doing? It says it's playing in B major. But what, you know, why? And then I hear this A and it's clashy and it sounds like I'm not even listening, you know, and it's like a different band playing. So that's the kind of stuff I really like to try to focus on, and then see where they change it. And man, like I said, Elevated, that stuff is really good. All three of the channels that I've featured so far are ones that I like to sit down and just jam to. Dude, in COVID, you know, I don't have a band that I could really kind of get together and jam with. And the band that I do play with, it's been hard for us to get together between one thing and another. It's just been tough to even just try to get together and hang out and play. So jam tracks in this era is a whole different thing. You know, it's just kind of a great way to sit down, and learning how to make your own jam tracks is fun. So if I'm going to sit there and do something that's, oh gosh, let's say if we're doing something in that B major kind of a thing, you know, or, you know, and then, you know, that kind of a thing. Just, I'll try throwing something like that down. Oi. Yeah, major against that. So then there's that whole, you got the minor sounds of the F sharp, but it's still B major, you know. So then you're going to definitely be thinking, and you can think bluesy stuff in here too by doing your half, you know, you're kind of moving between the major and the minor thing, just moving between these things. So yeah. So yeah, any one of those spots where you go to the F sharp, you know, You can do it anywhere. And you know, then you can kind of really work out where your fingers like to lay within those, and what's a comfortable sound to stop, you know. And if you bring out the notes within that, like there's the fifth against there, and then the minor third of F sharp, the major third of E. You know, you get kind of just on the B string, you got the seventh fret, and that's acting as the fifth. And just that little move, you know, alone can kind of get a little something. Right on, thank you, bro. And then you can start to find your harmonies that you like with it. So we know we have B major. So when I go to something like that, if I'm playing here, if I know I like, and I want to bring out notes that are kind of near it, you know, and also relative to it, you can sit in that pentatonic position still. So see, adding that 9 in always helps. Well, I hit the minor. It's never great to hit a minor and lay on it over the major. But when it's Mixolydian, you can bend, and it gives it that bluesy sound. Mixolydian really lends itself to that kind of a bluesy thing, you know. So like if I were to add like something a little bit else to this, you know, just to kind of give it some movement. So doubled up there a little bit. But you see how I found something a little percussive. And then when I went up to the F sharp, I wanted to bring out that. I knew that it would kind of sound all right against that F sharp, but if you go ahead and bring out the fifth of that where it is, so I got two kind of common chords, that B major and that E major have this, that you can kind of bounce around. But then when you get up to the F sharp, you may as well bring that. And then so you got a little something building, you know. And then you can kind of get down with it, do something, you know, mess around with your B Mixolydian stuff. Find a spot that feels comfy. Find a spot that doesn't feel comfy, you know, and really work that, but get comfortable first. Understand what it means to play the A against that instead of the A sharp, you know. See, that A sharp is just not groovy there the way that. And then so if we're thinking A, you know, B Mixolydian, you can also be thinking A Lydian and E major. So all of those notes are going to be safe, especially if you kind of just stick to pentatonics, you know, within those positions. So we got the major stuff going on. You know, and then get back to a little bluesy stuff. That's just that's the fun of kind of listening to a jam track and then being inspired by it, and then going, wow, I love the feel of that Mixolydian, or man, I really sucked at that Mixolydian, but I'm kind of sick of that track now. I'm sick of trying it in A. I want to try it in B. I want to try it in this. I want to try to just explore these different colors. Because I'm tired of Aeonian. I'm tired of the way that pentatonic always sounds the same, whether it's major or minor. You know, that's just kind of, oops, I didn't want to play that one. Hold on. God, my 50-year-old behind just cannot handle touch screens. I just can't do it. I just, all these years of having a monitor that I'm not, finesse is not the thing. So let's see. There's another soulful one. So this one's interesting because it's got this B minor sound. And then it goes to an E major. And he recommends B Aeolian, but you do that E major against it. And then so you hear that? That's Dorian against that whole thing. So this one's cool because you can kind of do Dorian, and then he shifts to G. He shifts to a G chord right there. And then you really are hitting the Aeolian. You know, that's like, and that's nice and moody and atmospheric kind of a thing. So he's playing something that's B, and then he goes up to the E, bringing out the G sharp, and then makes a chord out of the G. And man, doesn't that sound nice, right? And then I think he goes up to A. At some point, I think he does. There, it's just back to the B minor. There's an A. And then E. So back to the Dorian kind of a feel. So he's kind of doing the whole pitch axis thing, move between Aeolian and Dorian. And we talked about pitch axis last week. So that's a perfect example of pitch axis. But man, isn't that nice? That's moody, and that's the kind of stuff that I won't think of. I wouldn't think of doing that myself if I'm just sitting here and it's a Monday night and I'm just kind of messing around with my pentatonics. So that's why these jam tracks to me are just so fun, you know, because they can take you someplace you never would have gone. No, B minor now. So yeah, see, if you just kind of avoid the sixth until you get to that E. So yeah, you hear that, you just throw that in over that E, and then you can half step down into that G. Little E major again, you know. And I would never write, I just, like I said, I wouldn't do that. So I'm going to just kind of just sit here and see how it feels to like lead over it a little bit, you know, just for the sake of it. Go up to C sharp minor for the E major feel. writes some nice stuff, you know. And to me, it becomes pretty inspiring to sit and play along to something, because it definitely makes me want to play different notes. But I've broken the hour mark. I usually don't do this long, but you guys have been hanging out and having a good time, and I know I've been having a good time. Thanks for dealing with all the lag with me, you guys. It's hopefully it's been all right. A little bit better than it was at the beginning, but man, this is a pain sometimes. Sometimes it's great, you know, and it seems like it's going fine, and then sometimes it's a little bit funky. So, but just like you, a little bit funky, double D. You guys, I'm gonna head on out of here, and I really do appreciate you guys checking us out again. Elevated Jam tracks, give them a look. I know I want to go over them again at some point in this little series that I'm doing here. I found somebody else that I want to feature for next week, though, and he's got some pretty cool stuff. And he's got some video of him playing along, so you really get the feeling like you're sitting there playing with somebody, because you see him playing the parts, which is always pretty cool too, you know. So I'm really glad you guys hung out. It's a really good time, just chilling here in the room. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of keep playing with this track that is here. Yeah, peace, Boomer. Like I said, man, I'm gonna talk to you. I want to get you on one time. I want to talk to you about the stuff that you've done on the Springsteen tour and stuff with the Shaq tour, all that good stuff. I'd love to have you on one night. So, but yeah, I'm going to keep on jamming just a little bit more, just to keep going. And at some point, the song will end, and I'll say goodnight. So, hey, thanks, Elevated Jam Tracks. Thanks, everybody here, for hanging. Sub, like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Leave me a comment, all right? Oh, let's see. I think I have a wah sound. Let's see what this is like with a little wah. It's always tough to do auto wah. Yeah, I don't like the wah on that, man. Yep, right? Don't forget, Luke. Wash your hands. Yes. Everybody stay safe out there, y'all. Yeah. Yeah. When you play the major sixth and it was supposed to be a minor sixth, it's like a hair on your tongue. And there she goes. All right, y'all. Peace. Yeah, well, long live.